It's your boy Comedic Energy, and this is Dirty Mouth Radio. Dirty Mouth Radio, produced by Livewire Sound and Entertainment.
Oh, it's your girl Golden. It's your day.
It's your boy Crazy down here freezing out there in Houston.
Freezing?
I heard it's bad out there, yeah.
It ain't like super duper cold, but it's cold. I wasn't expecting it to be cold at all, you know what I'm saying?
No, you didn't pack any winter things?
No, I got all my winter stuff. I stay like that. Wintertime is my favorite time of the year.
Oh, you like to be bundled with your scarf on and your trench jacket looking like James St. Patrick?
Looking like motherfucking Ace Ventura detective and shit.
Oh, shit. So what's up, y'all?
In the background.
This is the Breakfast Club with Dirty Mouth, y'all. We here early as hell.
Yeah, man.
Sitting here looking like we just rolled out of bed.
No bull.
We got mimosas, though.
We got donuts.
We don't need it.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't need it.
But
What you mean? I need the mimosas.
No, I need the mimosa. We ain't need that donut, though.
Yeah, we ain't need that shit. But fuck it, we got it.
So what y'all been up to? What y'all been doing this past week?
Tired as fuck.
Thanksgiving just happened.
Oh, yeah.
Well, family gathering time, I'll call it that, because I know a lot of you people that I sit amongst don't celebrate those type of
Yeah,
things.
you damn right.
So family time.
And I worked, okay? I went to work.
Oh, okay. Well, I was off. I had delectable food.
I was off too. My mom and my grandma came from New York. I had some bomb food.
That's what's
So, like, does anybody know the history behind, like, Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, tell us, Craig.
But let's enlighten our listeners.
No. What's the history behind Thanksgiving?
Go ahead. You started it.
No, I'm asking because I'm not even completely sure if I know what the hell the shit is all about.
I mean, textbook wise, it was the Pilgrims and the Indians. They came together for one big feast. That's what it was. But you already know it's more to the story. So,
yeah, and that's what I want to know. I want to know what the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
The whole story is behind it.
Yeah, because I mean, I asked various people like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You always talking about Happy Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? How was your Thanksgiving? Stuff like that. You know, people get happy around this time of year.
Yeah.
When it comes to Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'd be like, you know, they'd be like, you going to bring anything to work for Thanksgiving? I'm like, for fucking what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, you don't want to participate? I'm like, why? Why should I? Like, what does it mean? Like, what is it about? They're like, what? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I don't have to participate in your holiday if I don't want to. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, am I going to buy a chicken for what? I don't even eat fucking chicken. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just
You know
bring
what
the
I'm saying?
damn
So, I mean,
chicken.
Oh my
You know
God.
what? But it is also about breaking bread and fellowship. I mean, y'all sometimes be going too deep with stuff. Like, for real. Like, it's not that deep. Like, I don't want to celebrate that shit because the white man really just got over on the Native Americans, had them cooking and shit for them, and all they did was sit down at the damn table.
And they killed them right after.
I mean, pretty much. Pretty much. That's exactly what happened.
They killed them right after they ate with them and shit.
I just think of it as, like Sean, you know, Golden said, fellowship, like to be with family, laugh, eat, you know, you see people you ain't seen in a while might come through. Like, that's just what
But I feel like the difference, there's a different meaning for Thanksgiving now.
It has changed over the years.
It's like people do just celebrate the fact that it's family coming together. And I respect that. You know, it's more about a family thing. And you know, and when you always have holidays like that, they're twisted. You know, we kind of twist the meanings. That's kind of how society is now. We know the history and how it was formed, but now we use it a little bit differently. You know?
because you have more knowledge of what's really going on around you.
Yeah.
I guess I just ain't that deep. Like, let me eat and be with my family.
Right. I know my mom's about to make this macaroni and cheese and this turkey and the greens and the stuffing and it's about to be slamming.
Oh wait, you call it
So you think
stuffing?
Well,
like y'all think it's
dressing.
Okay. Y'all
It's
think
dressing.
so like y'all think it's okay to like have a holiday that completely meant something else in the past that was like might have been really bad and grungy, and then over the years just try to make it good and just try to cover up the dirt and just celebrate it anyway.
Well, that's every holiday.
Every holiday is like that. I definitely
Right.
don't agree with that. I really don't.
But I'm
Like,
saying, like, do y'all think are y'all cool with that? Like, is that cool?
I think I'm cool with it. Yes, I mean, would you want us to be like Jehovah's Witnesses and don't celebrate nothing?
I mean, hey, it's an
Then you
average day at the
don't
end of the
celebrate
day.
Christmas because that's not really Jesus' birthday, and it was a pagan holiday at first.
You
And
getting these men started, child.
Yeah, damn
So why
right.
don't we celebrate? So why don't they celebrate? Why don't they advertise Hanukkah and shit like that as much as they advertise these other holidays?
because they're gonna say Hanukkah is now you said Hanukkah or Kwanzaa.
I mean, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all that.
Oh, okay. I thought.
I mean,
you
it
said
does get
Hanukkah,
celebrated.
It do
does
get celebrated.
Yeah, that's
Right.
without a doubt.
I just don't think we put much light into like Kwanzaa as
Yeah.
Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of those other holidays, but
So why
it
do
do
we
get
put so
celebrated.
much light into Thanksgiving? And it has nothing to do with us.
It's just an excuse for us to come together and eat good.
That's what it kind of comes down to, honestly.
It's an excuse
You
for
know
us
what
to
I'm
be off
And-
work.
but
I mean, for those of us who get holidays off.
But see, this is my point. Like, this is the point I'm trying to get to. Like, we celebrate like a whole bunch of holidays that have nothing to do with us or that aren't good for us. But then we have holidays of our own that we don't even participate in or celebrate.
Yeah, I agree.
What you mean, like
You know what I'm
Kwanzaa?
saying? I feel like America, like, we celebrate the holidays and then we try to make excuses why we doing the shit that we do when it's like everybody has a holiday for some shit, and you know what I'm saying? You don't see us getting off the work celebrating shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I just be trying to figure out like why we celebrating all these holidays when we don't even celebrate our own cultures, holidays and shit.
Yeah, I feel you on that, yeah.
But then we celebrating for
Well,
a holiday.
can you give me
that
an
was
example
bad for
of
us.
our own culture's holidays? Except for like Juneteenth and Kwanzaa, can you give me some examples? Because I think I don't know any.
I mean,
Okay,
but
well,
you got
Halloween. Let's start with Halloween. Halloween is not an American. It's not an American. I mean, it's not a holiday, but it's not an American tradition. Halloween is a tradition from out of Africa. Bet you didn't know that.
elaborate on that.
Yeah, elaborate on that because to me,
Halloween actually had an alternative name. It didn't become Halloween until slaves started coming over here and they couldn't pronounce the language right. So then the white people started mimicking the slaves by saying Halloween. Halloween was actually a tradition down in Africa where they would wear different types of clothing with their history and the native background stories on their clothes, and they would all come together and meet together and sit around, talk about stories and fellowship. That's what Halloween was about. I appreciate
now I can go and celebrate now.
well, to me, Halloween is really not an African American holiday. It's more of a Caucasian holiday. They love that shit. To me, it's more about demonic spirits and.
But
Oh,
now,
Halloween.
now we got to research it because
And then November 1st is All Saints Day. So
That's exactly what I'm saying. Our holidays, they have changed to be bad. And their holidays, they have changed to be good. We're celebrating their bad holidays and forgetting all about our good holidays.
I mean, yeah, you totally right.
I'm gonna have to do more research on that because I really don't even care
Exactly.
about.
All I knew was All
Exactly.
Hallows
A lot of
Eve,
it-
and then
a lot
that
of
turned
it
into
stuff-
Halloween.
a lot of
I
it
ain't heard
stuff-
about all this.
Yeah, and you won't, because it's funny because I actually heard it from a pastor who spoke to me one time on Halloween, and he was wearing a dashiki with his whole lineage on his dashiki.
Oh wow.
He told me that in his missionary work in Africa, he was told by African bushmen who they've been passing the story down for years. And he asked, why does America celebrate Halloween? You know what I'm saying? Do you know the history of Halloween? He was passed down that story from someone in Africa. You know what I'm saying? When it got here, it was so many different people speaking different languages, and when they all tried to join their languages, it was so confusing, and nobody could understand exactly what they were saying. So the word down throughout the ages became Halloween. Now, when the white masters started trying to describe what all of these cultures, they developed this way for them to all meet and greet and talk to each other and have some type of community, because they didn't speak the same languages. They were all from different parts of Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they would come together dressed in their robes and their regalia, and they would talk and they would try to communicate, you know what I'm saying, as best they could. And they would teach about their history so they wouldn't lose their history. The whites started describing it as, oh, you want to go dress up with those coons on a Halloween? Then the word started translating to Halloween, and then the whites or American culture started adopting that type of culture and started calling it Halloween. And they started dressing up as ghouls and demons and stuff like that to make fun of the slaves.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on that because I never.
All right, comedic history fact of the day. Yeah, man.
I just be thinking. That's why I'm on the search, on the hunt, trying to figure out the true meaning of Thanksgiving, because that shit just came out of nowhere.
I mean, but there's also a lot of inaccuracies on, kind of like what you were saying, Golden, like the dates.
Right.
Like you said Jesus' birthday is not actually on Christmas.
Right.
Which I've heard before, but I also heard that New Year's is actually not January 1st. Now they talk about, the world and the solstices and how the planets actually align. Well, they actually say that technically, I think the New Year's is actually in like April. Because you got to think about it, it's still cold outside in January 1st.
Right.
The minute the seasons change, that's when something else is new coming. Yeah, that's the.
You know what? That makes some sense. That shit. Damn, you gonna make me look into that shit. That shit makes
man,
sense.
that shit is crazy as hell. There's a lot of people that don't celebrate New Year's because of that, because it's not historically accurate. So that shit makes sense, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
get
like,
together again. New Year's.
Right. And celebrate and have a celebratory drink or two.
Oh,
or
my
3.
goodness.
Right.
Damn,
I'm
that's
with
wild.
I'm with the like getting together for family time and stuff like that. That's cool. But
That's what it is for me. I just feel like we need to get back to that. Honestly.
I feel like us as
But
black
like,
people, we change up what the narrative is anyway. Like we do our own shit.
True.
Yeah, we have our own meaning as to why we do it.
We have always done our own thing.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's cool. But I mean, if it's gonna be like a holiday for family, I just wonder why. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got niggas working and shit. Like, if it's really a family holiday, let motherfuckers go home and shit.
You know what?
Yeah, I feel you.
Now that our society has become more greedy, they don't never want to shut down anything. Stores don't close anymore.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, nothing was open on a holiday or a Sunday. You had to get your stuff way before the holiday, or you was gonna be butt out.
Yeah.
Now the stores is open. Like I had to go to the store on Thanksgiving to get my mom and my grandma some stuff. And it was like,
Word.
we closed at 1, but we open it right back up at 6 to start.
That's crazy.
The Black
start the
Friday.
sales. Like they don't. Before it was like the day before Thanksgiving. It was like, if you ain't got what you need, you ain't getting it.
Black Friday is a whole nother topic, man. That whole situation is just fucked up. Have y'all heard about Black Friday? and
Well,
how it
I
started?
have heard.
I'm sure you have.
I've heard that the Black Friday was a day that the slaves were discounted, but then I also heard that was false. So
No, that's
I don't
true.
know what to
That's
believe.
true.
That shit
They
is
used
true.
to have sales on slaves. No, that's some true shit.
Yeah.
So it was a discounted on slaves.
That's why it's
They
called
got
Black
pictures of
Friday.
that shit.
But I also
they got drawn up
I
with-
also looked up other stuff too, because what does it mean economically when you're in the black?
What you mean?
Like if you're in the red, you are losing, right?
Yeah, I see what
And if you're in the
saying.
black, you getting money. So that's what I
never
also
heard
saw
that
that too.
terminology.
So
Yeah. But
Well,
for
I didn't
us,
partake in Black Friday.
well, I never have any money at that time, so they can just miss me with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I did Black Friday. I slept until later that
I
evening.
just feel like all this shit is geared up so niggas can just work hard throughout the whole entire year to make a whole bunch of money just so they can spend it on frivolous shit.
And then I saw a meme that had me dying. It was like, every year y'all run out here for a TV.
Yeah.
Like, when y'all gonna have enough TVs?
Yeah, I
got the
honestly
same
could say
TV
that
for
too.
For 3 years. That shit was only $300.
You went out for 3 years to get TVs.
No,
I
he had
said
one
I've
for
had
3
the
years.
same TV for like 3 years. Since,
But
like,
that is
you
true.
know.
Like, how many TVs do y'all? Because that seems like what they always put on damn sale is these TVs.
Damn
Right.
TVs. That shit crazy,
That
man.
cost a fucking whole car, goddamn, your insurance in your damn car and shit.
But now they saying that the Black Friday deals, they're not even deals.
Right. They gonna lock them up
Really,
and just
Yeah.
to say they marked them down.
Yeah, they'll do that, and they say you get a better deal on Cyber Monday than you do Black
And
Friday.
that shit makes sense too.
Yeah.
God damn, boy, they be studying the shit out of us, boy.
Oh hell
I was
yeah.
about to say it's just tracking to see what we are accustomed to or
You
what
said
we flock
exotic?
to.
You said it's like tracking.
Yeah, it is tracking.
It's more like trapping. Them niggas trapping like shit, son.
Yeah.
Them old
Tracking,
corporate niggas be
trapping,
bro.
all the same.
That's why they be listening to that trap music, because they be doing that shit. They be trapping.
I mean, you got to think about it. You know, they prey on us because we have the most spending.
Right.
We're the most we
got
spend the most as a
spending,
race.
but the less-
Like,
Right.
yeah. We have the most spending
We got
power
the-
out of any other race, so they gonna prey on us to get that money.
Right. We got the most spending and the less cents. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, and you know what? I was at work, right? And I was talking to this guy. He was a jeweler, right? And he was telling me some stuff that really kind of resonated to me. And I had to talk to some other coworkers about it. And it had to deal with Trump, right? So he was saying that, you know, when you get like a socialist in power, the consumerism goes up. He said you got to thank Trump for that. So it kind of made me think, like, the economy in a way is booming, okay? Because you have this person in power. And it kind of made me think, like, why is it that a person like this gets the economy booming and nobody else did it? So it's like I'm starting to see what people are saying, and you know, kind of like why a lot of white people are actually going for Trump and pushing for Trump, because he brings all this other shit that kind of boosts up everything. More people are buying. That's the biggest thing. But the problem is that, you know, he's not doing anything to help us as black people. That's where the problems are lying. And then you got more people creating businesses and situations like that. But when it comes to us as the black community, we're not reaping the benefits of it. And I think that's why we truly don't like that. Amidst all the damn bigotry and racism that this motherfucker has actually portrayed, you know, since he's been in office and before he was even in office. So it's like, and from a white person's perspective, I can see why they like him so much. Yeah. And I mean, it kind of blew my mind because I totally hated the man. I really did. I was like, yo, everything he's doing is a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
But now I see where the benefit is lying. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, goddamn, that shit is pretty wild, you know? And if only we can fucking get at that table,
Right.
will it be beneficial for us? Like, I don't know. It's just, you know, something that was kind of boggling my mind, man.
Yeah.
Man. But hey, let's get into it, man. So what's up? What we talking about, man?
Today I wanted to talk about this human trafficking
Yeah,
that's going on. It's so big.
that shit's real.
I feel like it's been going on, but it's like more light is being shed on it
Yeah,
now.
I feel like the same way.
And I wonder, it makes me wonder, like, what is making it so, more highly
Popular.
discussed, or not like popular, but more discussed than it was before.
You said what is?
But
What's
making
bringing it to the light, the
Yeah.
forefront?
you talking about trafficking right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I can tell you that. The
I mean-
motherfuckers bored. They need some new shit.
Bored?
Them motherfuckers need some. They need shit to talk about. Everybody know that the news is a gimmick. Them motherfuckers just be looking for ratings and shit. They need more shit to talk about.
I mean, that's true, and they do. They always need something to talk about, but it's always
I'm not
a
seeing that
driving
stuff
force
on the
behind that,
news.
though.
I'm not seeing a lot of trafficking stories on the news. I'm seeing it more on social media. So that's what I'm saying. What is it making other people bring it to the light? I haven't seen nothing on the news about it.
I've seen it. I've seen some stuff on the news.
I've
about
seen
that.
it on the
Well, like
news, but I haven't seen it
trafficking-
as much as I have seen it on social media.
Yeah,
Like with
yeah.
people
Trafficking
coming
is bad.
clear with different stories,
Yeah.
or the outlets that are actually saving some of these individuals that are being trafficked.
Trafficking has been like a big thing for a long past time. It's just like
Yeah.
in America, that shit ain't really getting no light. But like now with Americans, like it's so quick and easy to like put your thoughts out there and shit that more and more people are starting to just be like, yeah, trafficking is an issue. I'm about to just be one of those people to talk about it real quick. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just like a trend. You know, like you know, we all go through trends in this world and shit. I think it's just another trend because remember when HIV was popular and shit, and they was making commercials about that shit. The whole strap up. How did it go? Strap up campaign.
No, wrap it up.
Or just
Wrap it up
wrap
on
it up.
BT.
This
Yeah.
book said, strap up.
Strap up, wrap up,
Wrap it up.
all that shit.
Yeah, I remember that whole thing.
Remember that shit, and then all of a sudden they just fell off that shit, and then it was just vote or just get out and vote.
Rock the
P.
vote,
Diddy and shit was
yeah.
all on the TV. Yeah, rock the vote. Then that shit disappeared. You know, it just be trends and shit.
I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. But when it comes to the trafficking, it's been happening for a while. And I always think that politically, that plays a role.
Well,
Because
of
we coming up
course.
on another election?
Election.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's playing a role in it as well. I'm just wondering. But I think that, politics always plays
And the
a role
more
in everything.
deeper you're gonna dig into it, and the more you're gonna see that there are, political figures or, big name people that are behind the whole organization or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's
You're talking about like the elite of the elite and shit.
Yeah,
Right.
because my thing is, it's like $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
So it's like, who are you not trafficking these women or kids off to some poor damn people? You trafficking these people off to people with some money in high places. To me,
Exactly. And those people with the money are the ones that's funding this shit.
right.
Who do
exactly.
you think those people are? Who do you think are the people that can step in and out of the law at any point in time in the game?
The elite of the elite.
And like I was reading something, and it was saying like why African American women are so high on the list for being trafficked is because, which is I feel like it's true, is because nobody really cares about the African American woman. Like white women will make more money for these people that are trafficking these women, but they feel like they're gonna get less time because nobody cares about the black
And
woman.
also,
Well, like, if
as
you-
far as when a black person is missing, how much media attention or police attention does it get? When white women go missing, it's all on the news. A white child goes missing, it's an Amber Alert. But if our people turn up missing, it's just like
I
nothing's
just feel like
really
they
done.
take it too lightly. Just
Right.
like the young girl who just in Atlanta who got killed by her roommate.
Yeah.
She had filed a report on the boyfriend of her roommate because she said basically he assaulted her.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
And nothing really happened. And
Right.
then come to find out when she got back is when the roommate and her boyfriend basically killed her.
Wow.
But it's like, why didn't y'all pick that man up beforehand or say something like maybe her life could have been saved?
Yeah.
I just feel like they just don't take what we go through or when we say something, as serious as if our white counterparts.
Well, how do we blow that shit up? Like obviously in America, everybody knows that the white man they have the power right now. They have the most pull. They have access to the most resources. So anytime they make a fuss or argument about anything, traffic light included, that shit's gonna get blown up. You know what I'm saying?
I think-
we as black people, we don't got no power. Like how do we magnify our own issues in our own way? Like,
See,
we
but
have
that's
to
the thing.
magnify that shit.
I think
You know what
we.
I'm saying?
I think that we do have the power. I kind of disagree with that. I think we don't utilize it. And I think it goes back to what we always talk about. We got to focus on ourselves.
That's right.
Motherfuckers is not going to save us, man. And like, I know there was something. I seen something somewhere. You know how you was talking about Amber Alerts?
Right.
There's something for black people. I don't know if it was called an Ebony Alert or something like that. But somebody created that. So it did the same thing, but it only highlighted people missing
Of color.
African American descent. Yeah. So it's things like that we got to actually invest in as a community.
And
Right.
we do have to save ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like,
Because we cannot expect
And
them
comedic-
to look out for us.
yeah.
They only want
Yeah,
what we
but
got.
comedic-
Like when I also think about trafficking, I also think about not only are they using women for sex slaves or whatever, or free labor, but they also harvesting organs. They killing people and
Exactly.
taking their organs.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, like going to what Comedic was saying, that Amber Alert, that only takes care of one piece of the situation. It's like, it's more than that too. Because then even with making a fuss about it, it's like, okay, now where's the manpower to actually go out and find this person?
That's when the community plays a
Like,
role. That's what the Amber Alert is for the community.
Right.
That's why I'm asking this question. Like, how do we, as our own people, magnify our own issues through shit like this Dirty Mouth Radio podcast? Give us, you know what I'm saying? Give us your problems, give us your issues, and let us speak about that shit
And get it out to the masses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk, you know what I'm saying? Talk to the people out here that's doing like video shoots or videos and shit. Like, share your issues with them and magnify that shit. Put that shit on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit be shown. That's how we fight the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, little apps and shit ain't gonna do it. We gotta be a full force out here. You feel me?
I mean, that's the truth.
It's an operation.
Yeah. But I feel like if we actually embrace one another as a whole, man, we could do more. I mean, it always goes back to what I say, man. Like the whole, when we were segregated, what we did, what we accomplished being segregated. It's like we have to get back in that mindset of just being independent as a community. It's like being independent, but being
Together.
together. Like,
And that's their biggest fear. That's their biggest fear, us coming
with
together.
that.
That's why they try to keep us divided.
go ahead, Craig.
I don't even know if I agree with that no more. Like, it just doesn't make sense in today's society to just segregate yourself from the rest of society. Like, this is shit that other cultures know way more of than we do.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm saying not. But what I'm saying, let me clarify that. I'm not saying segregate ourselves like we did before. I'm saying independently. I say have that mindset to focus on the community.
Ourselves.
Yeah, focus on ourselves, but be together. Like, if we have that and adopt that mentality, just like every other race has, we'll be on the same playing field as everybody else. They all do it.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, like every other race does that but us. We rely, and like they always say, on that white savior, that white Jesus to come save us.
Right, exactly.
And it never freaking works. Yeah. I'm not trying to, like, I don't want to use religion, but when I say that, I mean like another person. Yeah, we always look for that person outside to come swoop us up and say, when are we gonna start focusing on ourselves? That's the problem I always have with that shit, man. Like, there's a lot of different organizations out here created by black people that are here to help us. You know, like what's that one that goes in the American Red Cross? There's a black cross where there's a guy that created that when I think he created it after Katrina. He was like, you know, and I think he was in the military. He was like, man, I'm gonna start getting these supplies out to these people of color who get overlooked by the American Red Cross. It's like,
that's some dope ass shit.
Exactly, but people don't know that shit. So when we start actually investing in things like that, that's when, you know, we become better as a community, man. Like,
yeah, we need to advertise that shit.
Yeah,
we should look into getting into that and talking to his ass and seeing what he needs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like
a lot of black stuff
It is.
that we just
Yeah.
got to tap into. Like I had went to a vision board journal party last week, and one of the girls was saying she was a part of the like Charlotte caucus, and she was saying like it's none of us really there.
Are you serious?
Like we need to really be there, and like this is what how the business are forming in Charlotte, and we really have a say so, but none of us are showing up.
We're not utilizing what's being presented to us.
That's because we don't know about it. If you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's where that knowledge comes into.
Go ahead.
This conversation starting to go back to like something we was talking about like in one of our earlier episodes. Like, I think it's when we had the episode with no knowledge. It's like, how do we reconfigure the black mind to like stop investing in trusting and going with all these alternative products when we have those products right here in our own community? Like, how do we change that stereotype like Gucci and all of that outside shit is what we need or what we want the most? You know what I'm saying?
I think we got to do it as a collective. And I think, honestly, a lot of people aren't as strong, and they feel like if it's not right there in your face, like, or if I got to do the work to really find out, a lot of people don't want to do the work behind, getting to where you need to be for us to stand on our own. And I think that's what it is. People want it sat in front of them.
More like a lackadaisical approach to life and shit.
Exactly.
I think, honestly, slowly but surely it's happening. We're stopping all that depending on somebody else. And you got to think about how it's been in like the last, 2-3 years. It's more black businesses coming out. It's more people. We starting to focus on us. Just like what you were saying yesterday, Sade, the girl who did Queen and Slim.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she didn't want no input from nobody else but
other than
us.
the colored person.
Yeah,
like
it's
if you went, she said with Universal, because Universal is actually who took on the movie, but she told them going in, like, this is what I got, and I don't want no input from anybody else other than people of my color.
Now, how many people would actually or have done that? We
never
don't know.
It.
Yeah, but that's something that's never been heard of, yo. You telling somebody that has all the money.
Right, that's putting you in that platform.
But it shows who has the real power in that.
Because they realize that we have a voice now.
Yeah.
And that when they put us out there, we respond to it. And they're getting paid financially, and they can see the results of that.
Mutually, the money the money gonna be there. But it's like, in the midst of the money, somebody's got the power. She has the power.
She has the power.
Right.
Because she has control of the whole situation. It would not happen if she says no, I'm not about to do it. And they will lose that money,
right?
And that's probably what happened. That's probably why they took.
She the money maker.
Yeah,
like she has the power.
Yeah, it's like it's not always, and that's the thing. It's not even always about the money. It's about who actually has the control. It's like Universal has the money. She didn't have the money,
right?
But she controlled it. She had the power. She said, "I could take this shit anywhere I want to fucking take it." But y'all going, y'all want me, huh?
Y'all gonna do it on my terms.
Because y'all like what I have right now, right? Because you're going to make some money off this, right?
Right.
It's like that business mindset we need to adopt, because it could have easily been, please take this. Right. We could have been she could have been a submissive one saying, please take it because I need this money and this is such a good script. Right. Nah, but she had the confidence to say, I know my shit is tight. What you want to do with it?
Exactly. Like, you either gonna take it as I present it to you, or you not. And that's the thing too. Like, we as people got to stop. How do I say this? We have to stop bowing down for money. Like, that is the issue. Right. Like, even she could have lost. Like, they made over 16 million. They said over this weekend, and people are still going to see it.
Because I still haven't seen it.
I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah, so. I'm still.
But 16 million. But the thing is, if she was down and out or needed that money, they could have had free game with that and did whatever they wanted to.
Exactly.
But because she I'm not settling for whatever y'all trying to give me, I'm doing it on my terms.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with black people. Like, somebody show you a little bit of money, it's like, oh, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mindset of these people sometimes when they do take the money, it's like just think about being an entrepreneur, bro. Think about how long that shit takes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point in time, it'd be like if somebody offered you this amount of bread and you've been doing this shit for like 20, 35 years and shit. You know what I'm saying? You feel like, oh shit, this is my reward. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I would be like that. I'm just trying to, you know, take on the mind state of somebody who at the cusp, you know what I'm saying, of excelling or succeeding in what they trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you feel like you, like, as a black person, you feel like you worked so hard over the years and you slaved and you put in your work. If I take this money now, I can just let it all go and I can just go be free. You know what I'm saying? I think more people are just looking for that true financial freedom to some certain extent, you know.
But
and
they gotta
kind of like.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, go ahead. No, I was actually done. Go ahead, bro.
It's like, I think we gotta stop going for that immediate gratification.
Exactly.
And that's what it
money.
is. Yeah,
It's all-
and
I mean,
that is. It's
and
exactly.
what Craig was saying is like, y'all understand what you're saying, like you've been developing this for so long, and then you got to balance, like, am I gonna be a sellout, but I really need this bread.
Right.
Yeah,
Like I've been putting all my own money in it, and now this
Like
might be my financial gain. But if you just hold out a little while longer, it might, you know, you could be creating a whole legacy if you wait. Somebody else see the work that you've been putting in. I just feel like people settle too quick for $1.
And you know who was one of the key people that took that into account, did they own shit? Master P.
Yes.
With the whole no limit. Like, this man has a freaking multi-million-dollar company now. And when he started out, he was like, nah, I'm gonna create my own shit because I don't like what y'all trying to give me.
Right.
Took that
Right.
money from
That's what-
like his uncle's life
Right.
insurance that they gave him, like it was $10,000, and flipped that shit. And till this day, he's doing shit. The man got shoes.
I just
he got
heard he got
ramen
noodles
and
now.
shit. Yeah,
I just
like-
heard that yesterday. Somebody was, I
Yeah,
was like,
man.
I want some noodles. And
Yo,
it was
like-
it was like, oh,
Yeah,
you about to eat the
niggas is
Master
getting
P
smart
points.
now.
And I was like,
Yeah,
noodles?
and like-
I still ain't get no rap snacks.
Me neither. They in Walmart now, though.
It's a couple niggas who's doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I know Travis Scott just came out with some shoes.
Word. It's
Yeah.
like now that we
Craig, when you
gotta,
coming out with some shoes?
The
Shit, I'm
great
working on that
Yeezys.
shit. I got the fucking. I'm working on it. I got the shoes right behind me right now. So, shit, that shit is coming.
But that mindset is what we need to have more of, man. That shit is like totally real, man. He's really a walking testament of, you know, not taking what's the first thing being presented to you. Sometimes you got to look
I just
beyond
wish-
that shit.
Right. And I
My
think
thing
it's,
is sometimes.
Go
My
ahead.
fault.
No, go ahead, Craig.
My thing is like sometimes I just wish like these niggas that's like doing all this shit would do more conferences and some shit. Like nigga, teach me, nigga. Like you out here getting it, nigga. You teaching your kids, but like what the fuck? What about us, nigga? We want to excel too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
so at the
Like-
vision board party, I'll get the information. But at the vision board journal party, it was this lady here, and she does like self-care. She has like a not a self-care like therapist program, but she was saying it's this conference that happens in Raleigh. It's called the Black Wall Street. And she said it's like billionaire, millionaires, and she said they're all willing to help us.
Really?
Yes, I got to get the information. I had got it, but I got to get like the numbers and stuff. But she was saying she went to this conference, and it's people sitting there just like us, and they are willing to help you get to the next level.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we
I
need that.
I need that.
And we'll
ASAP.
post that information too, man. Like,
Yes, I will get the
Because,
numbers.
I mean-
Shout out to Charmaine, my girl, for that vision board journal party for 2020. We started early. Manifesting.
Sade, you be holding out.
I'm sorry, Boo Boo. It was her event. I just hosted and helped her with it.
Next time you get something like that, just put it on Instagram, man.
Actually, I have a video I did not share with you guys.
Oh, my
but
gosh.
I did, but I did say Dirty Mouth Radio in my video, so I will send that over.
All right.
That happened 2 weeks ago, but I will send that over. But I do have information on that Black Wall Street, and a lot of people. She had gave me some contact actually for like volunteering for, you know, what I'm trying to start as well. But yeah, I will get that information to everybody.
You want to share a little bit about what you want to start? Just a little bit.
So my passion is I want to do mentoring for young girls between the ages of like fourth grade to like high school. 'Cause I just feel like a lot of women, we don't start taking care of ourselves until it's too late. You been went through a bad breakup, a divorce. You saw your parents go through divorce, and then you don't think about the trauma that you go through until you're older, and it affects like all the relationships that you deal with throughout your life. So I just want to have a program where I'm teaching them about financial literacy, you know, college applications, hygiene. Like I have friends that are all do different things. I have nurses, I have hairstylists. I know people that do financial things. So I just want to teach young girls like how to take care of themselves, starting younger all the way up.
You gonna cut it off at high school? I need to be in the class.
No, and it's funny that you say that because I did a mentor program through my church, and I was the mentee, and I had a mentor. Okay, and she told me like throughout the program, she was like, honestly, I think I needed this mentorship more than you.
Really?
Like I felt like you were my mentor.
Wow.
Versus, so I'm always, and for some reason, older people or just older women, period, always come to me for certain things. Like I'm always that person. So my friends and like my family has been telling me for years, like, I think that's what you need to do. But you know, you really gotta be ready for that because people really depend on you.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
you open that door, it's like, okay, that's what you really want to do. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Okay. That's pretty dope, man. I rock with it. Yeah, give us that
And
info.
I didn't realize Charlotte was so like the poverty level is very high here. I didn't realize that. So, you know, of course, and that has a lot to do with, I want to backtrack real quick with that human trafficking, with that poverty level and nobody caring about these young women. You get these men like this Toya Brown story where she was in juvenile, got with somebody that was older than her, and, you know, basically put her in that light. She didn't want to be in that light of prostitution, but he trafficked her. So I think that's a huge issue where our African American women, like, nobody cares.
And that, you know, because the base of this episode is the trafficking. So getting back to that, to elaborate on what you were saying, in the interview they had with her, she talked about how, you know, trafficking, the whole mindset with trafficking that people think is like, okay, I just got snatched up. It's not always like that. You could be in that light and not really realize it. She was talking about, like you said, the relationship.
She thought he loved her.
Yeah.
She was young and he was like 40. He was like 40 or something.
She was like in her 20s.
She started doing drugs with him, and she came from, and not saying everybody comes from a bad background, because she said she came from a good structured home. Like her mom loved her and they still was behind her when she was in jail. But she started running with the wrong people. Yeah. And got sent to juvenile, ran away from there, was so heavy, and then she got with that dude. And basically he told her, "Oh, I love you." And I was watching this video on Instagram. It was just like a skit, but it was like a father talking to his daughter, like, as him the older dude and her as the younger child. She was like 15 and he was the older dude, saying, "Oh, I love you. Your family don't love you. Oh, I'm gonna get your hair done. I'm gonna get your nails done. I might beat you, but I still love you." And stuff like that. And that is like, you know, how many times you thought about the high school girls who was getting picked up by the older dudes? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's just like, you know, young girls at that point think about that. And especially when you don't got no father in your life, like, that plays a huge role as well. So just watch out for the women, y'all. If y'all see people out. So now I'm scared to do everything at night. I ain't going to get no damn gas. I ain't doing nothing because I'm good for that. And my mom hates that, but I ain't doing none of that.
Like, well, I mean, you can't live in fear. You just have to be more aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, like, trafficking is more intricate than what you think it is. It's not just about driving around, oh, we got to pick this person up. Yeah. That shit it's like planned out. It's methodical. They got a team. They really legit, like, planning this shit out. Okay, we trying to grab this type of female, these types of girls and shit. And we, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of that shit is like, they be having the police on board with that shit, or when they going overseas, they be having the military, all kinds of shit like that going on. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but I just ain't gonna help.
It ain't like it's just low class niggas just taking motherfuckers and selling them off and shit. It's like, no, this shit is a politically designed organization. Like the niggas that's funding this shit and that are part of this shit are your government motherfuckers.
And that's what I said.
Like
it's
I
people
mean,
in high
that plays
places
a role.
with money.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
So-
what I will say, go ahead, Craig.
I mean, people don't want to hear me talk all day. Go ahead.
But what I say, like this switches back over to what we need to focus on. Like, you gotta be situationally aware of your surroundings. If you
Right.
out and about going to the grocery store like that, start paying attention to where you are. Stop being
Train
so
your senses,
damn on autopilot and just like, okay,
Yeah,
let
'cause
me
a
get
lot of
these
people be on
groceries.
their phone, 'cause I know I'm good for
like,
that.
it's like you
a
gotta
lot of
start
times,
looking
yep.
at that shit, man. Like, you're
This is-
susceptible to
I-
anything that can happen if you're not just looking around. Like, God,
I
damn.
can attest to that shit because a lot of sisters, I know this girl real well, and one day I just pulled up right beside her. She was just all in her phone and shit, not paying no attention and shit. I'm standing right beside her, sat right beside her for a little bit, beat my horn and shit, waving all in the window and shit. She is just not looking and shit. You know what I'm saying? She motherfucking looks up and shit. I pull in front of her, then I come back around. I'm like, girl, if you don't pay attention, somebody just snatch your ass out of that damn car. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And
Exactly.
like a lot of sisters, they just don't be paying attention because they just don't ever feel like they're at threat. You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah.
a threat level, you know?
Yep.
Not saying that all women are like that because I know some women who are more perceptive than, mad motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you got to put your mommy senses on out there in the streets. yo.
Exactly, man. And there's I'm gonna shout this guy out because I follow on Instagram. This dude, his name is Tactical Carl. So he's a brother, and he's I think he's a sheriff, and he has military experience. He's been in the military. He does a lot of courses, and he does it primarily with us. So I don't know where he's based. I don't know if it's North Carolina, if it's Texas. It might be Texas, but he puts a lot of stuff on Instagram, and he talks about how you need to actually protect yourself. And he does it a lot of times with women. So he takes them to the range. He shows them how to do it. You know what they need to do, how to carry. You know, whether it's concealed or out, how to use your weapon effectively. He actually had a particular video that talked about the trafficking, and he talked about how quick it is to get snatched up. You know, it's not always like that, but those instances where you can get snatched up quick, he actually did a whole experiment, well, it wasn't a social experiment, but a demonstration on a lady just walking to a car, and they actually snatched her up and showed how quick it is that, that can happen, and the best way to defend yourself when that happens, and to be situationally aware when it's about to happen. Because that's the key, those few seconds you have
Right.
to actually see that's getting ready to happen. I heard another story about some guy, he was walking towards the girl, and he kept tapping his side.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I got
I
a
did.
gun right here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, like it's those little things that can be, the result of you getting snatched up or you getting away.
Right.
It's like, and then the girl who got where he stuffed her in the trunk and she popped the latch and jumped out. How many people's gonna think about that in flight?
Yeah,
or
I
flight
was
mode?
reading a safety
Right.
tip about that, about just
Yeah.
keep kicking at the tail light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be watching all
To
that
get your
now.
hand, yeah.
Yeah, like it's time to really start focusing on self defense, things like that, concealed carry, whether it's martial arts, anything like that to defend yourself. And that goes back to what we're saying: stop depending on other people. I talked to this one person. I'm not gonna put them out there because I know they listen, but I told them, like, get a concealed carry. She's like, no, I don't want to get no concealed carry. I'm not gonna get a gun. Da 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 da.
Well, I'm getting one. I
Like,
gotta get one.
you gotta do something
Well,
to
see-
defend yourself. What you gonna call the
But see, like,
police? That ain't
It's
always
another
effective.
thing too, though. I would like me. I got my license for my concealed and carry, but me particularly, I don't like guns. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even carry my gun on me nowhere.
Yeah,
Like my gun is in my car. My gun is like the last resort. 'Cause for
Exactly.
one,
Exactly.
I would hate to have to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. There are other tactical ways of defending yourself other than guns. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
guns will get your ass fucked up and get you in some fucked up ass shit.
yeah,
But women get into these motherfucking knives and this eye spray and shit. If you see a weird ass motherfucker biting his lip and scratching and shit, pull that shit the fuck out. Goddamn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got like 2 knots. I'm gonna tell niggas what I got on. I'll be strapped. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't be having no gun. So you can try to grab me if you want to. Your throat might be missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
but it's
like there's other ways. Like don't think that guns are the only way, because in a real life situation, if you get into a scuffle, it's gonna be hard to get your gun, and then half the time the shit don't even be cocked and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You might shoot yourself before you shoot them. So it's other alternatives. Like now, close to the body, nobody can see what the fuck is in your hand. You know what I'm saying? If they do try to come in, you can poke them a couple times in certain spots, eyes, and that, you know what I'm saying, peace, whatever the fuck you got.
Go for them weak points.
I'm good with a knife. They called me knives back in the day.
Oh my god, crazy ass.
Right. So like, you know, and then you can conceal it a lot better. So you can still wear your tight clothes and shit, and have like a blade on you at, you know, somewhere or in a couple different areas and shit, and get busy when it's time to do some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that goes all into the self-defense aspect, man.
So I don't even promote guns, because that shit, like, I've sat with my gun a couple times, like, yo, if this shit went off around a kid, or if I accidentally shot an old lady, or if I shot a nigga and I didn't do all the things that I was supposed to do, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life. You feel me?
I mean, that's true. That is so true, man. Me, I promote self-defense, period. So your gun should be your last resort. And that's the whole mindset the police are supposed to have. That's supposed to be the last thing that you use. That's the most lethal force. You're supposed to use less lethal all the way up to lethal. You know? But I say, learn everything you can about defense. The things that you may be weak in, that could end up being your strength and you not know it. So at least have some experience with it. You know? You may be scared to use it, but it might be a situation where that might be the only thing that may be next to you, and you're just going to say, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do, so they just going to win? Nah. Have the experience and everything, because it's all at your fingertips. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
So have that experience, you know? I tried to take some people to the range, man. They was freaking out. They was like, I'm not about to do it. I don't want to do it. Nah, come on, yo. You got to learn like, something. I mean, I don't want to. I'm trying to take you out of your comfort zone. I'm not going to force you, okay? I'm not going to force you to try to learn this, but get out of your comfort zone, because your comfort zone can get you fucked up.
Yeah,
that's
but I mean, like, this is a thing too, because you gotta realize, like, who you talking to. Like, you might be talking to like some people. Like, I've been in like probably like 10 different types of shootings, and none of them were related to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, once you get in your mind, like, yo, guns are always. Anytime a gun is around, I'm in. You know, I could possibly be the one to get shot. You just be kind of like, man, why would I want to go to the range? You know what I'm saying? Like, some shit can. You know, so it's kind of like a psychological thing in some people too. Like, guns are always revolving around some bad shit, never no good shit. You know, so I feel that shit, but at the same time, what you saying, like, niggas do need to start getting hit and start protecting themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
stop relying on other people to save you, man. Save yourself.
Yeah, just be careful out here, ladies, men. If y'all see a lady walking to her car, just make sure she get in it.
Yeah. Or if you even see a dude. Like,
no, not in the creepy stuff, but just making sure people get to where they need to be, especially if it's nighttime. Women with kids.
Hey, man. Do you need help getting to your car? Oh, get the fuck away.
That's what I meant.
I didn't say be creepy.
I'm just trying to help. Oh my God, be trafficking.
Crazy. I didn't say be creepy. I'm just saying, even women, like, if you going somewhere, let somebody know where you going.
Yeah. Give somebody some notification.
Be careful in these Ubers and lists too.
Yeah, I heard that's bad too.
Oh shit.
I heard some trafficking been going on with that too.
Yeah, so be careful.
They need all these resources. Fuck.
Well, yeah, because they probably getting good, clean people to drive the Ubers.
Yeah.
And they all in cahoots together.
They got Uber trafficking?
Yeah.
Yes.
That shit's wild, man.
It's scary.
Oh, shit.
And like, it's, so we talk about race when it comes to that. And I think a lot of it's driven by, like you said, the organs.
Right.
Things like that. But I also was reading somewhere where they was talking about melanin. So the melanin in our skin,
too.
that the when I read it, it was so crazy. They say the price of melanin.
Hold on, real quick.
What's up?
I'm just going to insert real quick, and then because what you're saying is right,
Yeah.
But right now, as of today, as it is now, it's really all about bone marrow.
I mean, well, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point, man. Let me finish my shit real quick. So they say, all right, man, I got you, yo. You go ahead with your
market.
Oh my gosh, really, man, really, really.
I'm just saying, bro.
So they say anyway, the melanin. They say the an ounce of melanin is actually worth more than gold at this point.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah, so like. You got to think about that. That's in all of us
over
people
here
of color.
baffled. Like,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. That shit is wild, man. And like when I first heard that, I started thinking about the different things that are black. And sunscreen. Sunscreen is black. You put it in a UV ray, it's totally black. So I was like thinking about this. I was like, is these companies doing this shit? Like, if that shit is completely black and it's in like everyday products, what the fuck is really happening? You get what I'm saying? There was something that came out about a crowdfunding company, and it's real controversial dealing with organs. So they're trying to figure out is this person trying to, kind of get the money up to traffic. I don't know. It's so wild, man. Like, yeah, you gotta. I really think that it's agenda against us, but it's not limited to us.
We've always been the agenda.
Yeah,
so that ain't nothing new.
But go ahead, Cray, man. Say what you was gonna say.
No, I'm just saying, man. That shit just gets so fucking sick, and like to think about and try to fathom how many people just come together and they know what the fuck they doing. They know what these people are going through. Like the ones that's exchanging the bread and shit, they ain't even putting their hands on these kids. They got people doing it for them, so they don't even have that shit on their conscience. You know what I'm saying? So like these little it's and it's not just a black thing. Like black people are definitely high on the priority list. You know what I'm saying? These other countries like the Netherlands, you get a certain, you know what I'm saying? You get a certain amount of money for American women.
Yeah.
Even more if it's a white or black American woman. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's kids, like they snatching kids up in Haitian by the dozens, bro, off the street. They not even fucking hiding. They just picking them up and taking them the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's motherfuckers in America who's funding that shit, who got parties and clubs geared to that shit. You know what I'm saying? They little boys, little girls, they snatching them up for slave labor. They snatching them up for sweatshops. They snatching them up for sexual trade. They snatching them up for sexual parties, invitations, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people who are selling their children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
That's another thing.
Yeah. It was I was reading up on it. And this was in Thailand though, but it was like a 15-year-old and like her 13-year-old sister. And I don't know where their parents were, but their aunt sold them. Took them to a hotel and sold them for money, and she only made $6.50.
Are you serious?
Money.
What?
Their money.
Enough?
Their money. Yeah.
Wow.
$6
for 2 people.
But then, like the hotel, like clerk was in on it.
Wow.
But they got arrested like right off the back, and then they took the police over there, took the kids or whatever.
So fucking sad, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of parents, just like with that R. Kelly stuff, I feel like some of the parents basically sold their children.
Yeah, they knew what they was doing
in a different way. For money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's real tough.
But that's another story.
You want to cry, man, because you think about like the life that these people gonna have to have for the rest of their life. Like
they're gonna be trauma filled, and that's what's wrong with society.
You can't get away from that shit. You locked up in the basement, and people can come and have sex with you whenever they feel like it. Like, yo, that is like,
that's wild as
what
fuck,
the fuck?
man.
That should make you want to just join the FBI just to fucking look for kids.
Yeah, it's really sad though.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there because I'm joining it.
Or like they cutting people open while they're still alive and taking out their organs. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they not taking them to no hospital to do the shit surgically, you know?
Nah. Damn. Well.
So like.
Go ahead.
That shit been happening for a long ass time too.
Yeah.
Since I would say since like Egypt was in fucking power and shit.
Dang. Well, this was a good episode, man. This was really deep.
Oh, damn, this shit over already?
But we're not. We're pretty sure to not finish this topic, man. It's gonna come up in future episodes, man. But we only got an hour, so we gotta kind of like limit it a little bit.
Niggas was really getting into it. Niggas was really beating up the mic just now. that shit was hot.
Yeah, man. So, like we always say, this is Dirty Mouth Radio, produced by Livewire Sound Entertainment. This is your boy, Comedic Energy.
Your girl Golden.
Sade.
Cray nope.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
This show was produced by Livewire Sound Entertainment. If you're looking to rent premium sound equipment for your next concert or podcast at a low price, go to www.livewiresoundent.com.